Okay, well, today we are here to talk to Diane Kidd. Diane has been nominated by her husband, Joe Kidd, who is a master dog trainer and Hall of Famer. So, Diane, how are you today?
I am great, Gypsy. How are you?
I'm doing okay for an old man. That's the best I can do. So, Diane, Hall of Fame recognition to me is important. I think it's important that more people are recognized. We are all stars in our own lives, but sometimes our life will affect other people. And I think that's when Hall of Fame starts to come into the picture. Years, dogs, work, and contribution. So let's just start it out by asking my favorite question. When was it you realized you love dogs?
It's been a long time ago. I was actually a young girl.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she was a dog woman.
Okay.
And we've always had dogs in our lives, pit bull mix, hound dog mix, whatever you call it.
Right.
And I was amazed by my mother at that time. And these dogs wasn't trained dogs. They was just pets,
Yes.
And my mom, she would always, when my dogs would get sick, she would take her hands and put a glove on it, and take whatever it is in their throat out their mouth. And I was amazed by my mother.
Right.
And out of 11 kids, I think I'm the only one that turned out loving dogs.
Okay. So let me ask you this about that time in your life, because I think it's going to reflect as we go deeper into your story. When you were a child, did it occur to you, did you realize that these dogs that your mother had was helping to protect the house?
No, I didn't think about it that way. I just looked at them as our pets,
Lots of hugs.
But we did have one that was really vicious.
Vicious. But you say he was vicious.
Yeah.
He didn't hurt y'all though, right? Did he bite?
No, he did not. He would protect the house.
Yes. That's what I call a good dog. Okay, Diane. So I'm gonna just ask you to fill in the blanks of your what I would call professional career. I know you've done some training, and so tell us about that.
Well, as time went on, I got interested in dogs. I happened to see some officers one day working on a platform, CTA platform.
Right.
And I was interested in what they were doing. I've always felt like I could do anything, so I wanted to try it. And I asked them a couple of questions about their work. And they were the ones that informed me about canine training.
Yes.
And they gave me the information. I went to the place where they were doing this training, and I watched what they were doing. And that's how I happened to become very interested in what these dogs were doing to protect regular citizens.
Yeah.
And I wanted to partake in that.
Okay. And so how did that progress from there?
I actually got hired. I took my last money that I had to pay my bills with so that I could partake in that.
Okay.
And the training was a month long. We did canine handling training. These dogs were already trained by Joe Kidd.
Yes.
And I became a security officer at O'Hare Airport at the time.
Handling canine.
And canine handling, and that was to service citizens going in and out of the airport. I'm sorry.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, because you were actually in a professional capacity handling a trained dog that was trained to patrol, a patrol animal, correct?
Yes, I was. Yes, I
Yeah.
was.
Now, I have to tell you, that's very unusual for a woman to even want to do that. But once you got into the job, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, pretty much I did because, like you said, this was a different avenue of what women's would do.
Mhm.
That's normally a male field.
Yes.
And there were many women doing it at the time, but they were not in the forefront.
Right.
And doing that work at that time made me feel a little bit better about just being out there doing a different thing for citizens, something they rarely see.
Yes.
This was helping them get to and from the airport. Nobody was able to, rob them, anything. And
Yes.
these dogs were really patrolling.
Yes, it was security, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
So I have on my notes here, PetSmart. Can you tell us about your encounter and your relationship with PetSmart? Tell us about that.
Well, that came many years after I had been doing security work, protection work, things of that nature with these dogs. And I wanted to be able to establish myself as a personal, professional trainer.
Yes.
And come out of the shadows of my mentor.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, I had to establish myself. So at that time, back in it was 2010,
Okay.
when I presented myself to Petco out in Lansing.
Yes. Petco. My note has PetSmart.
Petco,
I'm sorry.
yes,
Go ahead.
Petco, yes.
Mhm.
Petco in Lansing. And I was hired there by their manager to do their style of training, but the style that I also was presenting to get the job done. I stayed there for about a year and a half.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, their quota went up 400% per
Okay.
month
Okay.
when I was there. And the amazing thing about it was that there was a day came when I was hosting a class, because I was also the K9 educational instructor there too.
Okay. Okay.
And a young lady was surprised to see a woman doing
Yeah.
dog training.
Yeah.
And I knew as a trainer that there were others, but she was amazed by that. And it was kind of a good feeling and a recognition for me and others
Absolutely.
at that time.
So you could say that even then you were a model for other women who had not experienced what you had, but you may have given them the idea or the courage to go further with either their dog or in the dog world. Would you agree with that?
I would agree, because there were many women that came in with shepherds, pit bulls. That was the only Petco, even in the city of Chicago, that would actually accept pit bull to be trained there.
Yes.
And many people were coming, mostly women, to get their dogs trained by me there.
Yes. My favorite client, of course, is the church lady. And so you saying this really touches me. So let me ask this. Your experience on the security side of things at the airport, what did you bring from that experience to your Petco experience? Because you said that Petco, a lot of women, big dogs, working type dogs, not lap dogs. So what do you think you were able to bring from your security canine experience that helped you with this Petco experience?
Well, it's just the educational part that I brought with it, because when you have dogs of that size and that caliber as far as their breeding, they're kind of hard to handle. And so from that situation, from security to that level of training at Petco, I therefore brought handling skills with me.
Yes.
And to teach them how to actually control their pet in whatever setting they're in.
Yes.
So the obedience was to come with that, plus the mental ability of the handler
Yes.
came along with that to let them know what they were dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I was also, as I said, a canine educational instructor.
Yes, I can see that clearly. So let's go to your personal dogs that you've had. I have on my list here 4 dog names. I would like to start with Star, female German Shepherd, OB trained and protection trained. And if you did any, as we go down this list, if you did any competitions with these dogs, please let us know about that. So let's start with Star. Can you tell us about her and your relationship with her?
Well, Star was my very first dog that I had to start out in competitions to prove myself as a trainer.
Yeah.
And the funny story behind Star is that because my husband at the time was Joe Kidd,
yes,
and this was my first competition going in, so it was like kind of making his name stand out there. You know,
Absolutely.
I was the one coming in trained by him.
yes.
So many people came to the show to see me.
Okay.
And Star was excellent. She was excellent. Her obedience was crisp. You know, the handling of her. So what he taught me was to really perform. If I'm going to be out there with this dog to win, I need to have my stuff together.
So
I was very proud of Star. Yeah, Star was my very first competition dog, and it was done at one of Walter Ward's competitions.
Yes, yes. I've been to Walter shows before as an agitator. So
Actually, Star took 3 first places there.
that's what I want to know about. Talk to me. Tell me about
I didn't
those.
want to brag, but she took 3 first places there.
This is Hall of Fame talk. So bragging is appropriate. Okay? So please tell us about
so
that.
I'll brag.
Yes. Tell us about that competition.
Yeah, we walked out of there with 3 first places, and it was just a charge for me.
What were the categories of the 3?
She took freestyle, first place in freestyle.
And so let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. What was your freestyle? Because a lot of people don't know what freestyle is, and I'll explain that. Usually when you go to a competition, there are rules, there's a format. Freestyle is where if you didn't do it over here in this part of the competition, you have an opportunity to do something off script, where you actually tell them what you want them to do, and then whoever is promoting the show will avail themselves, their agitators, their show, to you, your personal show. So what was your freestyle? Tell me about that.
Well, my freestyle was a scenario where I was looking for my husband, and he was standing in the crowd.
Okay.
He was standing in a crowd of guys talking, you know, and I wanted him to come to me, but he was ignoring me.
Right.
So I talked. So I know it sounds funny, but
No,
I taught my dog.
It sounds real. It sounds so real.
So it was like I was getting mad because he wouldn't, you know, pay attention to me. So I taught my dog Star how to retrieve him from what he was doing and bring him to me.
Wow.
So I taught her how to fetch him where she would go through a crowd, no matter who they were, and grab my husband in particular.
Okay.
She would grab him by his hand like so, and would bring him all the way back.
Oh my God.
And the people went mad with that.
Sure.
And he could not shake her loose because the more you try to get away, the tighter her grip of her teeth would be. So you would have to come with her.
Wow.
And it was amazing. When I had lots of people on emails asking me to teach them how to go get their husband out the bar and all this type of stuff. So it was great. It was great.
Wow. Okay, that's one category, freestyle. What else did she do in that show? You said she had 3 first place.
Well, she took obedience.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, we had a scenario where we had to start off from the left side of us, working through cones. As we're going through these cones, star body would be straight on my side. It would not be like an inch away from me. So whatever maneuver I did, it was like she was a part of my body.
Absolutely.
So we did that with crispness and precision.
Okay.
And nobody could outdo it.
Wow. Okay. And the third thing, the third category, she won first place.
Well, the third category, it should have been first place, but we wind up getting second place, which was cool. It was good.
Yeah.
This is where she was doing like slight protection. She had not really been in protection like she should have been, but I wanted to see her ability.
Right. And
I put her in the category of protection, and she came in with second place.
That is incredible. That is a great, not just story, but event. I don't know a lot of guys even who have placed in 3 categories, especially when it comes to freestyle. That is the hardest because you have to be so imaginative and it has to work. If freestyle doesn't work, it's a bad feeling. And everybody in the crowd is gonna let you know. So let me applaud you for that freestyle. I like that one. Okay, so we go to Red, male pit bull. Tell us about Red.
Red was my heart. He was the blood that pumped me because he was a red brindle pit bull. And when I received Red, I got him at 6 months old. There was a nurse that I worked with, and she was having a hard time taking care of him. And she was persistent about me taking this dog because she knew I was a dog trainer also. Yes. And I kept refusing her until one day I went on and took the dog. Okay. And at 6 months old, I started training Red, teaching him how to first obedience to work with me. Yes. And then we went into working on protection work. So I eventually, when he got about 8 months old, I put him in his first competition.
Let me ask
and
you. And
with his first competition.
Let me stop you there.
Yes.
I just want to ask you if you can remember when you were putting Red together for his personal protection. Can you remember any one of the people who was in front of Red as an agitator?
Oh, I had several people. One comes to my mind, which is really was Tim Crawford. Okay. Tim Crawford was a monster, working with my dog to make him come on out like he should have. Right. I can't even remember this guy's name, but Red really hated this guy. Pawnee.
Pawnee.
I think his name was Pawnee.
Yes, I know Pawnee.
Yeah, Pawnee. And every time Red would see him, it was like go crazy at this guy. So both of them really done well with helping my dog to come out to protect me also. Yes. I think it's important. And I think you also. Okay. I went to one of your events and Red was there. So you was a part of helping him bring that together. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think it's important that the reason I love church ladies as far as teaching them, training their dogs, because they know what protection is. Church ladies are not trying to be bullies or bother anyone. But if you violate them, they will call down lightning on your ass. And that is for real. They will call the avenging angel to deal with you. Okay, so.
Yeah, that was my avenger.
Did he, I want you to remember this German Shepherd Star or this boy Red. I have 2 other names here, but these dogs were trained. And you said he competed. So how did he do in competition?
Oh my God. When we would walk to a competition, you would hear people like whispering, here come Diane and Red. Okay. Red was straight a winner. I'm bragging now. Now I'm bragging.
Go for it.
He was straight winner. He knew when he was at a show, he knew what he had to do. Right. His OB was out of sight, but his protection, oh my God. He was, when he would be turned on, I could call him off. He would stop like a dime, but he was a bullet when he would go towards the enemy to do that.
A serious dog.
Yeah, period. And he would take many first places in protection. Oh my God. And he was just my heart. Like I said, he was the winner. He was the money maker. He was everything.
Okay, I like that. So did these dogs ever in in our shows, our competitions back in the day, it was real life because we were coming at you. Your dog had to work. If he didn't work, everyone would see it. But outside of the arena, did Star or Red, can you recall them saving you? I'm just gonna put it that way. Did they have an opportunity to save you in real life?
Red, my dog Red. I was living in Harvey at the time, and I was coming down the street, and it was this guy hiding behind these bushes. You know, they had these really tall bushes around their home. Mm-hmm. I didn't see him, and this was nighttime. And as we're walking, Red, I could tell his body language. It was turned on, his ears, and he was like growling. Right. And like, what are you growling at, Mm-hmm. And as I'm walking, I never saw this dude, but he came up out of the bushes, like out of nowhere, and Red was just on. And he saved my life. I know that because I ran. I didn't run. I actually made him come, but he was still pulling towards the guy, which made that guy go head on because he saw this dog would probably hurt him. Yes. So he saved me. Yeah, because I guess the guy thought I had like a little pump dog walking with it. He was gonna take my dog. I don't think so. This night.
So Red is as ferocious as Red was. He was still controllable because you had the ability to handle dogs based on your experience with National Canine. It was right.
Yes, it was. Yes, that's where I first started learning how to handle.
Yes. See, these things are important. A lot of this stuff doesn't just happen all at once. It is a combination of events over many years, even with more than one or two dogs, that make a person have a dog life that brings them to the level of Hall of Fame. And that's why we're talking today. So tell us more. Let's go to, how much time do I have? How much time? 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes left. I want to go to this small dog, this Yorkie named Jewel. I see here you did OB, and she was a watchdog.
Yeah, which naturally she barks if anybody get near my door. You don't even have to knock. She can hear that distance, and she sounds off right away. But she took her first competition in Indiana. It was given by Tia. Yes. Pat's Friends, I think her place is called. And she took all 3 first places there. Obedience, freestyle, fashion show. She took it all. Wow. And so as a matter of fact, I'm going to brag on her trophy.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, she's amazing. Her obedience is good. She has her own YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, Joe has her on his page to let you see what her obedience is like to be a Yorkie. And a good thing is because people don't think small dogs need to be trained. Yeah. They're the first ones to run out the house and run into the street. You need to teach your dog how to stop and stay like they're supposed to, save their lives.
Absolutely. And let's go to Ranger, the German Shepherd and watchdog. Talk about him.
Well, Ranger, I adopted him from Anti-Cruelty Society. I was a rehab nurse there. Okay. And I just wanted to have another black shepherd. I hadn't had one in so long. And when it came in, this dog was at least 125 pounds. And I just got him because he was gorgeous. Yeah. So I taught him obedience. I wind up having to give him back, but I was glad that he had learned his obedience because the next person that would have him would have a great dog. Yes. Friendly with children and everything. But he was working on being protection dog, but I never got a chance to get him into the competitions. But he was one great dog, just beautiful.
So I think all of these things put together over all these years, all these trophies, all these first places, all these experiences in the arena and in real life on the street, I think I'm going to have to salute you and welcome you into the PPDA Hall of Fame.
It's a long time coming, but I'm hoping that other women be recognized as well. Because we got some great female dog trainers out here. I'm telling you, they've been in the background because they look at it as a male dominant training or sport.
I
but
agree.
There are many women I go back with that. Man, they're great. They're great.
Yes, I agree with that. So let me welcome you into the PPDA Hall of Fame. Congratulate you. And hope we'll talk again in more detail on some of these dogs. I'd be fascinated to hear the rest of these stories. So thank you so much for having this conversation.
I love talking dogs. I love talking dogs. You can't stop me when it comes to talking dogs. But you have to have another dog person because, it's just like a Jehovah's Witness. You might know the Bible, but some people don't want to talk it, so you got to have something in common.
This dog life. This dog life is sort of a religious life in itself. You have to be dedicated. You have to do it every day, and you have to do it with love.
Yeah.
And so thank you, Diane Kidd. Thank you so much, and I hope
much love to Joe Kidd.
All right. Now
if you hear me, much love to Joe Kidd. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.